Ever wondered why a student loan is a lot like a hipster's beard? They both seem like a great idea until you realize it's going to take a lifetime to get rid of. Student loans once taken can be as persistent as a bad haircut. And the current state of affairs isn't making things any easier. Borrowers are caught in a whirlwind of uncertainty, with student loan forgiveness programs being shuffled around like a deck of cards. Add to that, the ongoing legal tussles that are as clear as mud. So, what's a borrower to do amidst all this chaos? Let's dive into the depths of the student loan sea. Remember musical chairs from your childhood? Well, imagine that, but instead of chairs, it's your student loan servicer. Not as fun, right? Recently, around 2 million federal student loan borrowers found themselves in the midst of this game. Their loans were transferred from FedLoan, which had a reputation for errors and misinformation, to Mohela. But don't panic, the terms, conditions, interest rates, and repayment plans remained untouched during this shuffle. It's like changing seats but keeping your popcorn and soda intact. And there's a silver lining. The Department of Education has approved loan forgiveness for close to 145,000 borrowers. That's right, 145,000 people have had their debt loads lightened. So, while the music continues in this great loan shuffle, it appears that some borrowers are finding themselves in a better seat. And who knows, you might be the next one to get the lucky chair. So it seems like musical chairs isn't so bad when you end up in a better seat, right? Scene script. Ever heard of the term legal limbo? It's like regular limbo, but the stakes are your student loans. Now imagine you're a student loan borrower. You've been hearing about President Biden's student loan forgiveness program, and it sounds like a dream come true. But then, you find out it's being reviewed by the Supreme Court. Talk about a plot twist. The program's future hangs in the balance as the highest court in the land deliberates on its legality. This has left millions of borrowers in a state of uncertainty, not knowing when or if they'll have to resume payments. It's like waiting for the other shoe to drop, but the shoe is a mountain of debt. Then you get word of a pause on payments. It's a relief, of course, but it's just that, a pause. The meter isn't running, but the cab hasn't reached its destination either. The payment freeze, which has been in place since March 2020, continues until 60 days after the litigation wraps up. It's like a suspenseful intermission in the middle of a thriller movie. Meanwhile, changes are brewing for the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program and income-driven repayment plans. The aim? To expand eligibility, simplify criteria, and reduce monthly debt burdens. It's like they're trying to remodel the house while it's still on fire. But the confusion doesn't end there. The Biden administration has proposed forgiving remaining balances after 10 years of repayment and capping payments at 5% of discretionary income. Sounds promising, right? But remember, these are just proposals. They're like appetizers. They might give you a taste of what's to come, but they're not the main course. So where does this leave you, the student loan borrower? In a state of legal limbo, that's where. You're stuck between the promise of forgiveness and the reality of repayment, between hope and uncertainty. And the limbo bar keeps getting lower. But don't lose hope yet, the game isn't over. Now, if student loans were a TV show, this would be the season finale cliffhanger. In our last episode, the Supreme Court struck down President Biden's original plan to cancel up to $20,000 in student loan debt. But, like any good protagonist, the administration has come back with a new plan. This new plot twist involves using the Higher Education Act of 1965 as a vehicle to cancel student loan debt. The negotiations are as intense as any primetime drama, with draft rules expected to be released to the public in early 2024. The anticipation is palpable. We're all waiting on the edge of our seats to see how this storyline unfolds. Will the Higher Education Act of 1965 be the hero we've all been waiting for? It's worth noting that previous episodes have seen some major victories. In fact, previous efforts have already erased a staggering $127 billion in student debt. That's a lot of zeros. Over 3.6 million borrowers have seen their student debt vanish, just like that. Poof! Gone! It's the kind of magic trick we all want to see. The future of forgiveness is still being written, with each episode bringing us closer to the season finale. Will there be a happy ending for our heroes, the loan borrowers? Will the villainous student loan disappear once and for all? So will our heroes finally find relief in the next season? Tune in to find out. To sum up, student loans are like a never-ending roller coaster ride, thrilling, terrifying, and leaving you wondering when you'll finally get off. We've navigated the Great Loan Shuffle, where 2 million borrowers had their loans transferred from FedLoan to Mohela. Then we dove headfirst into the forgiveness fiasco, grappling with legal battles and the uncertainty of loan forgiveness. Lastly, we peered into the crystal ball of the future, where a new plan promises to erase up to $20,000 in student loan debt. And that's the student loan circus in a nutshell. Remember folks, don't lose your sense of humor. It might be the only thing your loans can't take from you.